She said, my husband prays at home, especially Fajr prayer. What is your opinion? I don't have opinion in this regard. I would let the Prophet ﷺ speak, and I would let the Quran address us in this matter. Praying in congregation in the masjid is the choice of the vast majority of the scholars. They say it's a wajib, it's a must, as long as a person can afford to walk to the masjid, ride to the masjid, or the masjid is in a distance that he can reach and attend. Basically, the Quran says, وَإِذَا كُنْتَ فِيهِمْ فَأَقَمْتَ لَهُمُ الصَّلَاةَ فَلْتَقُمْ طَائِفَةٌ مِّنْهُمْ مَعَكَ. I mean, if we don't have any proof but this ayah, which regulates the prayer on the battlefield, not only on the battlefield, like if you are in the army post or in the training. Guess what? It is talking about if you are facing the enemies. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ordering Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you are amongst them, فَأَقَمْتَ لَهُمُ الصَّلَاةِ, and it is a prayer time, and establish the prayer. فَلْتَقُمْ طَائِفَةٌ مِّنْهُمْ مَعَكَ. Somebody will say, this is a war, and we are seeing the enemies, and they're seeing us, so let everybody pray whenever they have a chance, pray on their own. No, still pray in jama'ah. The imam would lead half of the army, and the other half will be facing the enemies and protecting the rear of those who are praying. Can you imagine? إن تنصروا الله ينصركم ويثبت أقدامكم. If you support your deen and fulfill your duties towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will grant you victory. So if this is the case, don't worry about the enemies. Take care of the proper means. Half of the army will be facing the enemies, and the other half will join the imam in jama'ah. What about those poor people who have been facing the enemies, protecting those who pray? They will also get their share, because the imam will be praying qasr. Let's say praying dhuhr, 2 rak'ahs. Okay, we'll pray 1 rak'ah, then we'll pause a little, where the other people will complete the half of the army who's finishing praying the jama'ah with the Prophet or with the imam. Will pray another rak'ah. Then after they are finished, they will get dismissed and replace the other party. Will carry their weapons and face the enemies. And the other group would come back to join the imam in the remaining rak'ah. Very amazing mechanism. That is you on the battlefield. What if you sitting at home and watching the Super Bowl? Is this important enough to keep you busy from attending the jama'ah in the masjid? Or because the masjid is 5 minutes away from home? There was a companion who used to live the farthest from the masjid al-Nabawi, and he used to walk. So some people asked him, why don't you buy a donkey or get a ride? He said, no, by Allah, it is dearer to me to walk, because he knows that every footstep that he takes towards the masjid, it provides him with dual benefits. It erases one of his sins, and it raises him in ranks 1 degree. The Prophet ﷺ once was told about him, he said, indeed, the reward has been confirmed for him. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Yasin, إِنَّا نَحْنُ نَكْتُبُ مَا قَدَّمُوا وَآثَارَهُم. Verily, we record whatever they have offered, whatever they've done, and their traces, their footsteps. That is recorded. So the Prophet ﷺ put a lot of emphasis on praying in the masjid, whether it's Fajr or any other prayer. Ya akhi, in one hadith, I'm not going to speak about the warnings or the threats. I'm just going to speak about the targheeb and the way that the Prophet ﷺ exhorted us to pray in the masjid, especially Fajr. The Prophet ﷺ says, whoever prays Isha in Jama'ah will receive the reward of praying half of the night. It is as if you have been standing half of the night in the night prayer. And whoever prays Fajr in Jama'ah shall receive the reward of praying a full night prayer. This is just for praying in Jama'ah. Also, the recitation of the Quran and the Fajr prayer, the recitation of the Quran in the Fajr prayer is being witnessed and attended by the angels. Yani, your honor will be asleep, and the angels are attending the prayer in the masjid. إِنَّ قُرْآنَ الْفَجْرِ كَانَ مَشْهُودًا in Surah Al-Isra means, verily, the recitation of the Quran during Fajr prayer is witnessed. By whom? By the angels. As you know, that as we spoke before about 2 sets of the angels who are taking care of our protection and so on. they all meet, the two shifts, they meet in the Fajr prayer. And they all attend the Fajr prayer behind the Imam. And you're asleep, don't you know what you're missing? So please, make sure that you should not miss a single prayer and you should not miss it in Jama'ah. Barakallah fikum.